it's really important to our members, our educators, that our politicians and our elected officials are good role models for
Yeah,
our students. And I can think of no one better than you
that's kind.
to be that role
Yeah,
model for our students in terms of what public service looks like
yeah.
and what it means to serve with integrity. And so our members have said over and over again that they want our politicians to disagree better. They
Hmm.
want them to argue with passion for their ideological positions, but do so respectfully
Sure.
and without name calling and sort of the negativity that we've seen a lot in the media these days. Can you talk a little bit about what this campaign
Yeah.
means to you
Well,
personally?
yeah, I'll start with my experience as a classroom teacher. And you learn a lot. There's no substitute for experience in being in a classroom and trial and error. But when I would be counseling a younger teacher, as I was, in it for a little while, I would say this simple advice: if you're calm, they're calm. If you're in chaos, they're in chaos. So, for those of us that have stood in front of a classroom, making sure that you have a welcoming environment and a learning environment and an energized environment while still making sure that those students are being respectful of you and each other is something that is not as easy as it might sound like. So it comes with experience. And I've taken that experience in the classroom as a role model in the classroom for almost 30 years. And I did not leave that classroom to go contribute negatively to the toxic, divisive political structure. So, in my 4 years in the Senate, I've worked with Republicans and Democrats in a positive way. Again, I make this statement about the legislature. I said I was in a classroom for almost 30 years, so I understand how to deal with juvenile behavior. Uh, but you, but we, um, I sit as chair of the Disabilities Committee, and I work very well with my ranking member, who's a member of the other party, to make sure that we work together to get things right. And when we do that, often our votes in um, the committee or on the floor are passed unanimously because we do work collectively together. When you're standing in front of 26 impressionable kids, you've got to handle yourself in a certain way. And if you do, you earn their trust more quickly. And that means that your relationships and the trust even builds even bigger. And then you can really get great things done and the magic of a classroom occurs. I loved my job. It's the most gratifying job in the world. I left it because I could not watch what was happening in politics. And it is unsustainable. So we must find common ground. And if we don't find common ground together, what we are going to see is the deterioration, further deterioration and destruction of our democracy. Because a house divided against itself cannot exist. And we're divided right now. So I didn't leave a job that I love that's more rewarding than any other job that you can have, and I am biased, to go do this, and make it worse. So I'm only going to make it better. And I've already done that for 4 years. I think in a place like Central New York and the Mohawk Valley, that resonates with people. And that's why I do have the support that I have. I was also, when I was in a classroom, because a lot is being messaged about the politics of education. And that is so frustrating to me because my students that sat in front of me, their families came from every political background. And we weren't in there to talk politics. We were in there to educate the kids, build relationships, and get them going towards a career and a fulfilling, enriched life. And the fact that the education piece has been politicized is very frustrating for me. And I call that out and reject it. But you know what? We've got a great country that isn't perfect, but has been built by many. The foundations are there, and there's still great opportunity in this country. And the way that we're going to continue that commitment, that American dream to our kids that our parents gave to us, is to work together. And I hope and believe that the people of this country will reject the chaos and find common ground and support people who have already showed that that's what they're committed to.